Genghis Khan wasn't born powerful. He came into the world as Temujin, a boy in a world of warring tribes on the Mongolian steppe. His father was a chieftain, but after his death, young Temujin and his family were abandoned. They were left to survive on their own, scraping by in a harsh and unforgiving land. But Temujin was a survivor. He learned to fight, to ride, to lead. He made allies and crushed his enemies, step by step, battle by battle. He united the Mongol tribes under his banner. By 1206, he was no longer Temujin, the outcast. He was Genghis Khan, the Great Khan, the ruler of all Mongols. His rise was shocking. His people were nomads, accustomed to herding, not conquering. Yet Genghis Khan forged them into an army unlike any the world had ever seen. They were disciplined, fiercely loyal, and utterly ruthless in battle. Genghis Khan's ambition burned like a wildfire. He dreamed of a world under his rule, a world free from the petty squabbles of rival tribes. And so he rode out of the steppes, leading his warriors on a campaign of conquest that would reshape the map of the world. The Mongol horde became a storm that swept across Asia. They were masters of warfare, using horses and bows with deadly skill. They smashed through armies many times their size, conquering kingdoms and empires. China fell before them, its ancient dynasties crumbling under the hooves of their horses. From China, Genghis Khan turned his gaze west. His armies poured into Central Asia, crushing the Khwarezmian Empire and laying waste to cities like Bukhara and Samarkand. They pushed further into Persia and Armenia, reaching the very borders of Europe. The Russian princes made the mistake of resisting. They were crushed in a series of battles, their lands added to the growing Mongol domain. The Mongols reached Eastern Europe, striking fear into the hearts of kings and emperors. The Pope in Rome trembled at the news of their conquests, fearing that all of Christendom was in peril. Genghis Khan's empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea, the largest contiguous land empire in history. It was an empire built on blood and terror, but also on a surprising level of religious tolerance and cultural exchange. The name Genghis Khan became a byword for terror. Across his vast empire, people whispered tales of his ruthlessness, of cities put to the sword and entire populations wiped out. He was a figure of awe and dread, a force of nature unleashed upon the world. Yet Genghis Khan was also a shrewd ruler. He understood that true power came not just from the point of a sword, but from the minds of men. He created a legal code, the Yasa, that brought order to his empire. He established a system of trade and communication connecting the far-flung corners of his realm. He was a man of contradictions, a ruthless conqueror, but also a loyal friend and a loving father. He valued learning and surrounded himself with scholars and advisors from all cultures. He hated betrayal and valued loyalty above all else. His legend grew with each passing year. Some saw him as a demon, others as a god. But to all, he was Genghis Khan, the Great Khan, the shaker of the world. Genghis Khan died in 1227, but his empire did not. His sons and grandsons continued his work, pushing the Mongol borders even further. They conquered Persia, invaded Korea, and launched campaigns into Southeast Asia. Under Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson, the Mongols completed the conquest of China and established the Yuan dynasty. They ruled China for over a century, leaving an indelible mark on its culture and history. Even after the Mongol Empire fragmented, the fear of the Khan's name lingered. For centuries, the memory of the Mongol conquests served as a warning to any who dared challenge the descendants of Genghis Khan. His impact on history is undeniable. He reshaped the political map of Asia, opened trade routes between East and West, and left behind a legacy of both terror and admiration. Genghis Khan, the boy who rose from the steppes, became one of the most influential figures in human history.